We're coming to a close of this session, but also of our ANZGOG's annual scientific conference. And I have to say that it's been for us an amazing time, and I would like to, I think it's very fitting that we invite ANZGOG's CEO, Alison to the stage to give us some final thoughts and to close proceedings. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, it's great to see you all here. We've had 4 fabulous days here learning an enormous amount about what we can do in the future as well as what we're doing now. I think one of the most, whenever I hear a survivors teaching students presentation, kind of everything else kind of fades for me, so I've got to get myself back on track actually in terms of what I would like to say. But first of all, I think that this particular program, Survivors, is the beginning of what ANZGOG does with women in putting the message out there about what we need to be doing around gynecological cancers and ovarian cancer. And to us, even though we're a clinical trials organisation, it is very much an example of how ANZGOG tries to take a whole approach to what we do. And as an organisation, we feel that women telling their stories and talking to doctors in training and nurses is a critical part of us getting a message out there. Just as working with pure researchers in a laboratory who are coming up with an idea that is a preclinical idea is a critical part of us connecting the dots to our clinical researchers who are working in hospitals and other people who are actually testing these ideas with women. And then we believe that how we then pass that information back into the units and to women after we find out those answers is another critical part of what ANZGOG can do as an organisation to actually translate those results into treatments that people can have. So as an organisation, we've been operating in this space now for 20 years. The benefit that we've gained in that period of time is that even in the last 8 years, we've doubled our membership of doctors, researchers, surgeons and allied health professionals who use ANZGOG as a way of learning about the research that's happening in the space. And because of that growth of those people engaged in developing research, we've actually been able to develop some very significant initiatives which we hope will bring forward some of the answers, like our OASIS initiative and signal-seeking studies like Ali Freeman's and others like that. So this day today, talking about all of those different types of activities by our different types of researchers is a critical part of spreading that word and having people understand what we're talking about. And the last 3 or 4 days that we've had with our annual scientific meeting has been a critical part of our doctors and specialists actually sharing that knowledge as a collegiate group and becoming excited about what they can be doing together. And I know from talking to some of my staff that we've been here working with those doctors that our pipeline of ideas for new clinical trials has been amazing out of this conference. And that's been quite outstanding. So it's wonderful to have you here at the tail end to hear about these other activities. As I said, ANZGOG's been in operation for 20 years and we're celebrating some of our achievements next year while we also plan what we need to be doing going forward from then on. And you've probably seen on some of these different screens that we have our old logo here with our gerbera, but we're actually moving to a much more contemporary look, which actually symbolises to us women. And in fact, I had a lovely story from one of our women on our consumer research panel yesterday who said to me, I really love the woman symbol and I love the way the cross at the bottom is not in the circle and the straight, which is what we're used to. She said to me, I feel like the woman is flying. And we felt that we'd done something right with that as well. So I want to thank you all for being here. I can assure you that from the conversations that I have with so many of our clinicians that there is an absolute heart and commitment and passion to finding answers for the diseases that so many of the women we know suffer from, and we will continue to communicate with you as we go. Thank you.